Yo, what is good, guys? Welcome back to another video. The market just shook off some negative sentiment overall that we seen on Friday. And honestly, man, we have a V-shaped recovery forming that we kind of seen last month or last year. But last year, it was a little bit bigger and we had a bigger sell-off overall. And then it finally came back. But with that all being said, man, the overall stock market is looking pretty good. We got some good news for some of these stocks on here. But honestly, man, if you guys are a long-term trader, short-term trader, anything, these stocks are for you. You guys want to miss out on anything. Without further ado, man, let's get started. Good luck trading. Comment down below any other tickers that you guys are watching, and let's get it, man. First one on my list is going to be Tesla. I try to promote this one a little bit, but not too much just because of the movement is kind of negative right now. But I am personally going to be looking at that 300 to 290 to 295 level to get into some longer term call options with this one and even load up on my long term personally. Tesla is that one stock that once it moves, it can move a decent amount. And honestly, man, the robotics and everything, they're pretty bullish overall, man, for the long term. But I mean, honestly, man, we have a potential to see a stock back at that like $500 level. Of course, not going to be fast. You know, robotics and stuff like that takes a while. But Tesla is honestly that one company that is kind of on the verge of what the future really is. Autonomous driving, robotics, you know, just everything. AI, man, they're above and beyond. And I think Tesla in the future, okay, I'm going to say this, in the future is going to be a very, very good stock that you guys honestly going to regret not getting into. So I do recommend getting into Tesla. Those are my buy orders right now. You can even wait a little bit longer, see if it can die down a little bit more, maybe to that 260, 215, but I highly doubt that, honestly. But with that being said, man, I am watching that $300 level. I'm going to be loading up on some call options. You can make a decent amount of money and bounce off of these levels a couple of times recently. And honestly, man, this is where the money is made to be happen. I know people who made 100%, 200%, even some people that made 300% on some of these moves. So honestly, man, this is one that you guys don't want to miss out on. Next one, of course, going to be Apple. We did have some India news that came out, a bigger tariff on India. And ever since that came out, we did start selling off. But I personally loaded up at that 202.5 already, and I'm going to be having this level, keeping this level here. But honestly, for the future, if we do start inching down lower, look at that 201.5 to that 200. If we do start inching down lower, this call option, I'm probably going to sell quicker than I wanted to just because the price action doesn't really look too good. But if we do break that 205.5 and even that 207, it's going to be looking a little bit more bullish overall. But Apple is that stock that you guys don't want to miss out on either. They're still pretty big. I know everybody with an iPhone. I recently just switched to Samsung. I'm not even going to lie. But I miss the Apple ecosystem. I use a MacBook. It's just so much more easier to use. And honestly, my next phone is indeed going to be an Apple. But with that all being said, though, man, Apple is not going anywhere anytime soon. They have a lot of cash flow. And especially them getting into AI now, man, this can bring their stock up even more. They did get sued recently for not using AI as fast as they said that they were going to. So if they can get into the AI game, put some money into it, get some deals, I think the stock can get up to like 220 to 230 right away, just because investors are finally happy with that, what Apple is doing. But if we look at other companies, they're going in debt. They're kind of like betting big on AI, and honestly, it's not really looking too good for their numbers. But everybody just sees AI and they start loving it, so that's why the companies are going up. So that's one thing that like Apple didn't really want to do right away is like push into AI, get a debt, you know, and somehow it fails, and then it makes their whole company fail. So this AI, it might be good, it might not be good, but right now, man, we did kind of itch up higher, but sold off. So I want to see where we're going for now. But I am going to be watching that 202.5 after I sell my call option once again. I'm going to watch that 200 to that 190 level for Apple overall. Next one is going to be NVIDIA, man. Literally, AI is big, and NVIDIA produces like all of the good AI chips. Everybody wants NVIDIA chips, even though like, you know, AMD and stuff like that is coming out with chips. NVIDIA, everybody knows about NVIDIA. I haven't got to yap too much about it. With that being said, man, I'm going to be watching that 178.5, 176.5, and that 170 level for some call options. If you do start edging down lower, I'm going to be having my patience. With these dip buys, man, I do recommend having your patience. Just honestly, man, just wait. Just have your patience, because sometimes, man, like on Friday, Thursday, and Friday, man, we kind of seen that it just broke past these levels and just kept on going down overall. So if you have enough patience, man, with this market right now, enough patience, it's going to get bought back up. With that all being said, you can also just get longer term option plays. So like, let's say you got an option play and you bought it at that 180, you know, you messed up, you bought a dip buy at that 180, you know, and you have a longer term call option, maybe for like a month out. you would probably almost be green. Maybe if like Nvidia gets up to like 183, you can probably be green again. But with that being said, man, that's just days wasted that you could be making money. So just please have your time while getting into these plays. But Nvidia is going to be on my list and on my radar, and especially get it in your long term. First link in the description below, I have a bunch of courses to help you guys become more profitable. I have a long term that gives you guys 40 free stocks to outperform the S&P 500, especially in this time. And I also have, how to read charts, basic beginner things for trading overall, and how to make money off of $0 on your computer. So go check out these courses with that code down below. You guys can get 50% off, and the courses are already relatively cheap. Next one's gonna be Palantir. Their full year guidance was insane. They beat $1 billion for the first time like ever. And honestly, man, Palantir is looking pretty good. And honestly, Palantir is always that stock where you want to be patient with, but then it just keeps on shooting up higher and higher and higher. We're up $10 ever since earnings and even more. But with that all being said, man, Palantir is that one stock that you guys want to miss out on. You guys can play option plays. Honestly, you can play option plays, long-term plays, anything like that. But Palantir is that stock that you guys don't want to miss out on. And the longer you wait, the more money you're potentially losing. I have my average cost at 114. And honestly, man, I had Palantir like $5 at one time, but I sold it way too early. So honestly, man, Palantir is that one that you guys don't want to miss out on. And honestly, man, it's up a shit ton basically. Next one is going to be Bitcoin, just because, man, Bitcoin is basically the new gold. But honestly, man, in the future, we have a future where Bitcoin is probably going to be used in most transactions. And honestly, it makes it more universal. You don't got to worry about, conversion rates. You don't got to worry about this, that, or the third. You can literally just pull out your Bitcoin. It's the same in every single country. And I think Bitcoin is a new future, where I think there's a bill getting signed where we can buy houses with Bitcoin, which is insane. So honestly, with more purchases being made with Bitcoin, that means more people are going to load up on Bitcoin, because honestly, it's basically their bank account. So honestly, man, I think Bitcoin is going to be the future. And honestly, man, if we can see it down at like that 110,000 level, that could be a good time to buy, even 105. So honestly, man, have your time with Bitcoin, but I think Bitcoin is pretty decent. Some stocks and ETFs to trade: MSTR, Coinbase, and IBIT. These are great ones. Next one's going to be Ethereum. Kind of the same thing, more uses for Ethereum than Bitcoin overall. And I mean, like a couple of weeks ago, we seen that people are selling their Bitcoin, buying into Ethereum. I think the coins and stuff like that is used on this platform. But with that all being said, man, Ethereum is one that you guys don't want to miss out on as well. ETHA is a ETF that moves with Ethereum too, if you guys just want to get, cheaper stocks and or ETFs to move with these. But overall, man, the stock market is looking pretty good. I think we're just waiting on trade news, maybe some better trade talks with India. EU just did those countermeasurements where they paused them. And honestly, we're waiting on the trade deal with them. And honestly, man, overall, it's making the market look bullish overall, except for that India tariff. The India tariff, make it a little bit higher. It's looking pretty bad on Apple. So I'm pretty patient on that one too. But with that being said, man, smash the like button, subscribe. First link in the description below. Get yourself some courses. Let us get to 500 subs. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.